Good morning. Just checking everything's working. I'm very steamed up. My webcam. It's the cold. It's the cold. Okay, so we will begin momentarily. Good morning. Good morning. A little bit early. Jumping in. It's a beautiful day outside. Very snowy. Big jumpers. Got my socks on. So let's get started. We're going to start lying down on our backs. So I like to bring a little theme into my practices for the week. And this week is about back love, loving our backs. So whether you're working from home or homeschooling, and we'll kind of get just a little bit scrunched up, whatever we do, whatever the situation, doesn't have to be locked down. So we're just going to bring a little bit of awareness into our backs this week and try and find length. Excuse me. So what I'm going to suggest is you come and lie down on your backs. And then if it feels good, if it feels comfortable, bring your knees in towards your chest. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. You can have the knees wide, you can have them together, or just bring your feet back onto the floor. So just see what works for you. Good morning, Maxine, my lovely lady. And where you are, just start to have a little bit of a sway and see if you can kind of lift. It's almost like you're lifting one butt cheek off and placing it down. It's like you're walking your bum away from your ribs a little bit, just to start finding that length. And then when you feel comfortable, just pause and bring some weight into your spine. If you're comfortable with the knees in at the chest, keep them there. If you prefer, bring the feet onto the floor, but try not to lose that space in the spine. And then just close the eyes for a moment or soften the gaze and just really start to notice your breath. So if you can relax the tummy and feel the breath in the tummy. So there's a slight rising through the tummy as you breathe in, a slight falling down towards the spine as you breathe out. See if you can notice your breath this morning. Try not to force it, try not to sniff really hard or do strange things. Just notice the breath. Okay. And then if you've still got your knees into the chest, bring your feet down to the floor. And we're going to have the feet kind of just underneath the knees, hip distance apart. And we're going to try and keep the hips as stable as possible here. We're going to keep the left knee pointing up to the ceiling. And then just see if you can let the right knee come out. Try not to let the left knee follow. So just take the right knee as far as is comfortable. And then bring that knee up and we'll take the opposite knee out. So one knee stays up and the other knee opens. It's a really nice way just to kind of, I always think of a bit of WD-40. So, I mean, obviously we're working the hips here, but this is really coming nicely into the lower back, into the sacrum. So just moving from side to side. You can take the hands out wide, turn the palms up. And if you're familiar with working with the breath, I know sometimes when you're new to yoga, it can be a bit alien and you feel like you're suffocating maybe. So if you're familiar with the breath, just linking the breath with the movement. And if you're not, don't worry, just breathe. Okay, so nice and loose and juicy. And I'm going to take it the opposite way. So take your feet as wide as your mat. And this time let's bring the right knee in to keep the left knee up. So right knee falls inwards. And we lift that knee up and then take the other knee in. And again, just moving nice and slowly, side to side. Noticing if you feel a little bit stuck. There's no right or wrong. Let's take another couple. Okay, and next one, the left knee comes in, make that the last one. We're going to walk the feet together. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, and you can hold either the thigh, the back of the thigh, or around the shin. See what feels good. but squeeze that knee in and see if you can get your lower back into the floor. So if you've got any lower back issues, keep your left foot on the floor. If your back feels okay, you can slide the left leg out and push through the heel. And then really squeeze the left knee in. Try to keep pushing the lower back into the ground. And it might feel nice here to lift your head and shoulders towards your knee. Really squeezing that thigh in. Have both feet active. Point through both toes up to the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. And then bring that foot down. We'll switch to bring the left knee in. And either have the right foot on the floor or slide that leg out. Reaching through. Trying to find a little bit of space through both sides of the waist. Pushing the lower back into the ground. And with an exhale, head comes up to the knee, squeezing it in. Try not to let this leg float up if you've got it extended. And then bring that head down. Bring both feet back to the floor. And let's take them as wide as the mat if you're on a mat. If you're not, a little bit wider than your hips. Take the arms out wide, and then let's start to take both knees left to right here. Swishing from side to side. You can take this really slow and moving with the breath if you want to, or if that's not your jam this morning, if that's not your vibe, then don't worry, just swish. Swish as to what feels comfortable, what suits your back. If you've got lower back issues, take it super slow with a curious mind. But if your back feels okay, just kind of juicing up the joints. And then leave the knees towards one side. So if you can keep the feet far apart and bring a little bit of weight into the top knee as if you're pointing away from the rest of the body. Try and relax both shoulders. Relax your ribs. And then see if you can slide the two knees together. So this top knee, slide it up to the bottom knee, slightly deeper twist. So just be mindful how that feels. Trying to keep both shoulders into the ground and taking a nice full breath. Release that breath. And then bring your right foot back, followed by the left, or whichever foot you took it to. And then take the knees over to the other side. So start with the feet wide apart. Knees go in the opposite direction. Top knee points down, so you stretch into the quad, right into the hip flexor, into the lower back. Try and soften your breath, soften your ribs and your tummy. And then slowly draw the knees together into a slightly deeper twist. Try and relax the back of the ribs down towards the ground. And then slowly lift the top knee, followed by the bottom knee. Bring the feet flat to the floor. So we're going to have the feet hip distance apart, heels underneath the knees. Bring the hands down by the side of the body with the palms facing up. And coming into a pose called bridge pose. So just see if you can pick your shoulders up a little bit and then slide your shoulder blades underneath the back of the body. See if you can wriggle the head, lengthen the back of the neck. And then push down through your feet, but lift your toes up. And then see if you can gently relax your toes back down to the ground. So we're using the feet, but try and relax the toes. Okay. As you breathe out, push your lower back into the ground. So we're sinking with the breath now. Push the lower back into the ground. See if you can keep that length then. Breathing in, lift your hips up to the ceiling. So hips lift up and the weight comes into the heels of the feet, into the shoulders, into the back of the head. Take a big breath in. And breathe out. Roll your spine down from the shoulders all the way down to the hips and then the bum. And breathe in, just take a breath in. So breathe out, push your lower back down into the ground, relax your toes. And then breathe in, keep the length as you lift the hips up, heaving all the way up, weight into the heels, into the shoulders. And when you're ready to breathe out, take it down, roll the spine down. And then take a breath at the bottom. So we're just going to take a breathing in, lift up. If your back is dodgy, keep the arms down. If your back over. As you breathe out, roll the spine down, bring the hands down with you. And take a breath in at the bottom. Breathing out, lengthen the lower back. And then breathe in, lift up, arms rise up if that feels all right in your back, in your shoulders. in, breathe out, roll it down. See if you can get your hands and your bum to touch the ground at the same time. We're going to do one more, breathing in. Breathe out, push the lower back down, lengthen the lower back, and then lift up. And then breathe out, roll it down. Okay, just pause, just resist the urge to move. Let the back settle into the ground. And then start to just sway the knees left to right. Maybe take the feet wide again. See how it feels, what feels best in your back. And then one by one, we'll bring the knees into the chest if that suits you. Okay, not everybody likes this though. You can hold the backs of the thighs, the shin. If that doesn't feel good, just keep swaying the feet, swaying the knees on the floor. Wherever you come to, just find a little rock. And if you want to, if it feels good in your body too, with an exhale, you can bring head up towards the knees, point the toes up to the ceiling if you're bringing the knees into the chest. Shoulders draw away from the ears, big, big back stretch. And then release. We're going to roll onto our side, whatever side. Just pause, bring the knees into the chest. Nice little back stretch again. And then gently push into your hands. Bring yourself up into a seat. Give the shoulders a roll. And then just relax the hands, close your eyes. And just notice your breath. Maybe you notice traveling up and down the spine. You can soften your face. Be aware of yourself before you move on into this snowy day. And when you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. Bring a smile to your lips. Take something positive into the rest of your day. We bow the head to the hands, the mind to the body. Namaste. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Have a lovely, lovely day. Take care. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much.